Signs of parasites.
Oh, I was just going to ask.
This stuff happens in the gut. Okay? You have bad bacteria in the gut, and you have good bacteria in the gut. We'll talk a little bit more about that too as we talk about colds and how to build your immune system. In your colon, 80% of your immune system is in your colon, in your gut. 80%. All right, so what happens is if you haven't eating a lot of meats and foods that are protruding in your gut, it's going to cause some infections, stomach problems, obviously, brain fog, fatigues, things of that nature, skin problems, and cause bugs because of the heat that's already in your system that's making that thing happen. Yep. Whoops.
What do you do to cleanse yourself? Just eat, right?
What are we talking about? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. The signs of mineral deficiencies are up here. Let you see that. Yep. Sign of mineral. You see that? Sign of mineral deficiencies. If you weaken zinc, you probably have a weak immune system. Some diarrhea, acne or rashes, potassium deficiency, abdominal bloating, feeling dizzy, constipation, calcium issues, high blood pressure, tooth decay, brittle nails, dry skin, selenium, low immune system, takes longer to heal, skin heal, iodine, pale skin, swollen, sore tongue. So again, self-diagnosing yourself.
How about cramps in your feet?
Cramps in your feet?
Cramps in your feet or leg, like, more than normal.
Yeah, a lot of cramps happen because you're not hydrated. So lack of moisture in your muscles, we talked about earlier, it's going to cause cramps. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So lack of moisture could probably cause that. Yep. All right. We've got a few more left. So build your immune system. Common cold. Got the rhinovirus, coronavirus, RSV, and parainfluenza. Common cold is a social term, but these are the more medical terms. Most people would catch the rhinovirus during this time of year. Okay, they say about 50%. And coronavirus has been around for a long time. That comes from a lot of animals, like dogs. So that for people who get the coronavirus, about 20% of the population may have the coronavirus. The same symptoms, if you go to the doctor and they might differentiate the different strand. Parainfluenza, that's another one there. Flu strands, you got 4 of them. You guys knew that? Out of each strand, there's 10 mutations.
Wow.
All right, so they don't know which one it's going to be when they give you the flu shot. They're hoping and they're guessing it's going to be one of these different strands and then one of those mutations. Each strand, so level A, these are the most popular ones, A and B, in America. But each strand is going to have 10 mutations per cycle.
So there's 40.
There's 40. They don't know which one is going to be. That's why if you get the flu shot, you might still catch the flu. Because if you encounter something, it's the wrong strand. Unfortunately, same thing on corona vaccine. So if they give you vaccine, the strand mutates so fast, it might not be that. They're guessing which one it is. You may catch it, you may not catch it. Anybody know what a virus is?
An invader. What is it? I feel like that sounded dumb.
An alien.
Alien.
Well, it's like an alien. Who said that? You did? I thought you did that again. So it's like an alien. Remember Aliens, the movie? Yeah, so a virus is an antigen. Okay, it's not a living or a live thing. It's trying to live off a host. So it enters your body, the eyes, nose, or mouth, respiratory area. So what happens is, it's like colds, bacteria, your immune system. You have a period called the incubation period. That's 10 to 12 days. Remember hearing about that during Corona? All right, do you know what's happening during this time?
It's trying to break into your system.
Yeah, see, she's there. Basically, your system is going through a civil war. All right, the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. You have a lot of bad bacteria based on how you eat. Okay? The better you eat, you have more good bacteria. So what happens is that virus is going to jump on the bad bacteria. It's going to cause the bad bacteria and wires them to take over. The good guys say, hey, hold on, we got to take care of this and beat these guys up before they take over. So then you have this 10 to 12 day incubation period where they're going through a civil war. The best group is going to win. The one that has the most. So most of us are unhealthy. So guess who's going to lose that battle? So most times we're going to get sick. Okay? Now, you have a defense mechanism. The common one is if you go outside, you're not sick. You go outside and you get a runny nose. Come back in, wipe it off, you're good to go. All right? Do you know what just happened? Do you know why your runny nose happened?
It was trying to get in and you pushed it back out.
Something like that. All right? When your body goes under 97 degrees, your body says, okay, turn on the defense mechanism. The mucus traps the dirt, viruses, and bacteria. So it comes through this way, right? Bacteria. So it's going to secrete mucus to try to trap anything that's going to come in. When your body goes below that temperature, that's your defense mechanism. Okay? That's why you have mucus. Mucus is a fly trap. Literally. Okay?
Too much is not good. Right.
You know, and we'll talk about that in a second. The innate immunity, you have an RNA immunity. You guys heard about that during the whole COVID situation? RNA is supposed to stimulate your RNA, and you know, you ever heard about that? Innate immunity is what you born. Okay, we all have it.
Oh, yes.
All right? Your RNA immunity is what you develop. Okay? Just think of register. Like registers all the dirt, germs, viruses that you come encounter with, and it locks it in for life. So if you come encounter with it again, your RNA is going to recognize it, and then your body's going to know how to deal with it. Okay? I can take somebody from one tropical island and bring them over here. They're not used to all the germs and bacteria. What's going to happen is they're going to have a reaction, you know, and because they're not used to it. So it's going to bypass their RNA system. Then what happens, think of it like you guys understand football, you have a defensive line. Okay, your RNA is like a defensive line. All right, so once it goes past the defensive line, it's up to the innate immune system, which is the white blood cells, the defensive backs, to attack that running back that just got broke through. It's up to them now. Now, you control that. That's based on how you eat, how you take care of yourself. If you have a strong defensive back with some Deion Sanders and those guys back there, you're going to be able to take care of that. But if you have some, you know, pee-wee football people back there, they're going to break that line, and the next thing you know, then you're going to get sick. Okay? That's what that is. That incubation period. All is going on there. Still follow me? Still with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Foods that supercharge the immune system. There you go. A few of them. Talked about citrus fruits, talked about elderberries and herb, bananas, black seed oil, kale, green fruits and vegetables. So other key points: eat well, gut health, be physical active, be active, maintain a healthy weight, get some sleep. You need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. Okay, if you don't get enough sleep, happened to my daughter. My daughter's in school, works all the time. She's getting 5 hours of sleep, staying up all night. Next thing you know, she was sick. She never gets sick because she's a vegan too. But because her body was weak and she was around the germs and bacteria, you left yourself vulnerable. So now I can't beat up these bad guys because I'm not strong enough to do it. Make sure you get enough sleep. Quit smoking, avoid too much alcohol, stress-free, wash your hands. That's not on there, but wash your hands. Herbs to build your immunity. Talked about a little bit. Multivitamins, black elderberry. It's good for the immunity. Find them at the vitamin shop. Google it. Amazon. Echinacea. Echinacea, we didn't talk much about. Well, let's talk about it. Echinacea helps clean your glands out. All right? You have 12 glands in your system. Glands are waste baskets to your body. So if you have too much waste in your blood, the gland is going to absorb the waste and put it in the waste basket. Yeah, we got sick and have these little bumps right here, like a little soreness. That's your gland. So it's absorbed.
Is there lymph nodes?
No.
That's further back.
Yeah, your gland is back there, so it's absorbing all the impurities, all that waste from that being sick from there, and it's trying to save you. Because if it stays in your blood, it's going to create blood poison, sepsis, issues in your blood. So it's there to protect you. Okay? We'll talk a little bit more about that on the last slide. Sea moss is good. Sea moss is a water plant. Water plants have the most minerals in it. You have 102 minerals in your body. Sea moss has 92 minerals in it.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. talked to Kurt about it, Mark over in service. They've been taking sea moss, the energy, the awareness, it cleans your system out. It's an awesome herb, sea moss.
Male and female?
Yes. Black seed oil is another one too. Talked about common cold. All right, this is probably one of the last slides here. So talked about common cold. Diabetes. What do you know about diabetes?
Sugar related.
Okay.
Sugar bugs, no?
Yeah. What did the doctor tell you? Did the doctor tell you how it happened, what happened, and how anything? He just said, just take this medicine. So it's just like
Take the pill and
diabetes, real quick, is a disease of the pancreas. Remember we showed you anatomy? So your pancreas has digestive enzymes in it. Helps break down the food, especially sugar. So when it's overworked, because how you eat and all the sugars you're eating, it's going to shut down. Imagine you're washing clothes all day, every day. Okay? I don't care if it's Sony, parents, whatever it is, it's going to break down in some time. So when it breaks down, the pancreas shuts down, the sugar stays in the blood. That's what sugar diabetes is. Because now the sugar is in the blood, causing waste, causing the blood to be thick. It's not getting enough nutrients to the brain. People have diabetic attacks. They fall out because the blood is too slow, and the blood also doesn't have any nutrients in it. And also, your blood sugar dries out your veins. It takes the vein, because remember, it dries out your system. So it takes the vein and makes it from being that thick, your veins might be smaller, but that thick, and it makes it smaller because it just dries it out. So now this blood can't get through. Okay, that's what diabetes is, and that's why diabetes and high blood pressure are normally associated to one another, because the veins shrink. Anybody know what high blood pressure is? What did the doctor tell you? They ain't tell you nothing? They don't tell us much. I know. Okay, high blood pressure means when your blood is too thick, or if you have too much oils in it, or you have a lot of obstacles or and issues and waste in it, or your veins now begin to shrink, the blood, there's not enough blood available to keep you alive. So your heart says, or your body says, okay, turn up the pressure and pump higher pressure of blood to keep you alive. Your body's very sophisticated and smart. Okay, so that's what your heart is doing, your body's telling your heart to reactivate the pressure. It's like a faucet to get that blood in there. All right, and that's what high blood pressure is. Now, if that heart is being overworked, because how you eat, right? That's how a heart attack happens, because now it's wore out. Okay, it's like I'm tired. So then he may shut down and have issues. That's what causes the heart attack. You don't attack the heart. Your heart don't attack you. You attack the heart based on how you've been eating. Okay? So that's how that works there. Cancer. By definition, you can ask your doctor. Cancer is when your cells lose 65% of oxygen. All right? You got this thing right here? Let me draw something for you real quick. This is the last thing. Thanks for sticking in with me. Your cells looks like egg yolk. Right? You got the yolk right here. Remember that? And you got this mucus. This mucus around the egg. Okay? Remember what that mucus does? It traps dirt and viruses. It protects the egg. All right, your cell is the same thing. It has mucus around it to protect and trap any dirt and viruses. So when it's not getting the oxygen, because we talked about what feeds the cell, food, oxygen, and water. Okay, so it's not getting the oxygen, it's going to start deteriorating the cell, and the cell's going to begin to die because you're suffocating it. If it loses 65% of oxygen, that's what cancer is. So how does it lose oxygen? You want to take a guess? What's the most popular cancers? Breast and prostate, right? Okay, it's that way because of a reason. Those are glands in your system that you don't use that often. Prostate is a muscle and a gland. So if you have to use the bathroom for men, we squeeze our prostate to avoid peeing on ourselves. Okay, but how often do you really do that? All right, when you gotta go to the bathroom, you go take care of it. The women, the gland is used to breastfeed and also to, to keep that area clean. So if you're not pregnant all the time, you're not really using that gland much. Okay, so what happens is the other glands you're using all the time. Okay, so what happens is we have so much blood in your system. The glands is the wastebasket to your body. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So it's going to pull the waste out of the blood into the gland to keep you alive. Mm-hmm. And then your lymph nodes, that you mentioned earlier, is behind the gland. It's filled with water. Mm-hmm. It's going to flush out the gland if it has enough water in it. If you're drinking enough water, okay, to flush it out and dilute the waste, and it goes back into the blood where it's not that strong anymore, and it's going to come out through your waste. Urinate or the other way, all right? But however, if you continue to eat the foods and harm yourself, the gland gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It becomes a knot, and it becomes a knot in the prostate, a ball.
The sugar feeds that, is that right? Sugar
feeds it, yep. Mm-hmm. So what happens, that knot becomes, now the blood can't get through because it turns to a roadblock. So now on the other side of that roadblock is the rest of the cells. So the rest of the cells begin to deteriorate and can't get oxygen. It's not getting food, blood, or nutrients, or oxygen, and begins to die. And once it dies, it begins to, then it starts to spread through the blood, and that's what cancer is. So to avoid cancer is by eating healthy. So it's not hereditary. Grandpa or grandma who had, or aunt, that's not, doctor said don't stay away from them. They said stay away from sugars, salts. You have to have a stricter diet now because that diet that you was eating formed that waste. And that's what caused it. Okay, that makes sense? Mm-hmm. All right, do me a favor, just do your research and follow up on what I'm saying. That way you can hear it for yourself and see it for yourself. But that's how to avoid basically any issues and diseases is by really taking care of your health and eating correctly. Stay away from aluminum deodorants. Okay, you absorb that aluminum into your area here. Aluminum keeps the waste in your system. When you sweat, you're sweating out waste. But when you put the aluminum on it, it blocks it. So it goes back into the blood, creates waste in the blood. Okay? So then your glands have to react and take care of the waste. All right? Drink a lot of water, it'll flush it out, you should be fine. But then we put lotions and things on us. This is not natural. It goes into the blood. Now, so your body's always working. It's constantly working. And it's constantly trying to keep you alive. But we have to start being able to give it a break sometimes. We got to control what we can't control. You know what I mean? We around viruses and bacteria all day. It's got to do that. I got to fight this blood, the deodorants. You ask your body to do a whole lot. And when you start getting a little older, you're starting to, I'm breaking down like this because your body's tired. Mm-hmm. And you're still doing it harm by the way we do it. We haven't made any adjustments yet. So you can reverse it. Your body can fix itself, just like it fixed itself when you cut yourself, you break your leg or break your arm, or scratches. You see how it heals itself on the outside. It does the same on the inside. You just have to give it the nutrients to help accelerate that and help defeat it the right nutrients so that way it can take care of itself. And did you know this? I'm telling you something here, all right, without telling you. And the smartest species on this planet were vegans.
Well, you say were, they go extinct?
No, there's still, there's not as many vegans nowadays as there used to be. Yeah, before, 85% of folks were vegans. Years in ancient times. In ancient times, yeah. We're not built to eat meat. You're not built to eat it.
So good.
Yeah, huh? Thanks so much. Thanks for spending the time with me.